Okay, all right. I'm here with Adam Magoulas, athlete at the University of Florida, Belen alum as well. How are you doing today?
What's up, Rob Nation? I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. And you've had a very successful running career so far. What would be one piece of advice you'd give to someone who wants to run in college?
One piece of advice I would give is stay consistent because I've seen so many cases where people um, weren't like in the shape to be a college runner all the way up until their senior year. And if they had given up like in those first 3 years, they would have never ran D1. But like it really can happen the last second. And before you know it, you might be already committing somewhere. So it's all about consistency and not giving up.
And what's a day in the life like for a college athlete?
Day in the life, it's kind of busy. Like we got usually early morning practice. Then after that, you like after early morning practice, you kind of got your classes and whatnot. And then we usually got lift a few times a week, like in the afternoon. And then the days that we don't have lift, we got either another run or a cross train workout, which is like you either bike or swim and stuff. So you kind of got like 2 to 3 go-to things that you got to do every single day. And then sprinkled out throughout that, you got classes and you got treatment and whatnot. So you got to get like massages and you got to go to the trainer. So it's kind of busy. And then on top of all that, you got to try to get eight eight hours of sleep a night consistently, and make sure you eat a certain amount. So it's kind of weird, but eating and sleep kind of feel like a chore when you're an athlete because you always are moving, but you got to make sure you get your meals and get them gains up.
And what's a lift like typically? Like what type of compound lifts are you doing, or more machine work? What's a lift looking like?
Uh, the training program at UF for distance runners is kind of like very unique. So we do like Olympic lifting, just very high rep but low weight. So it kind of works on like explosiveness and just like overall, um, it's kind of more for like injury prevention. So we're not really getting big, obviously. Um, it's kind of working on like muscle imbalances and whatnot. So we'll do cleans, we'll do deadlifts and whatnot. So it's kind of just a mix of everything.
And now that you've completed your first year at the University of Florida, what are some things you like about the university?
Oh, probably just like the family atmosphere with all the student athletes. So I don't know if it's just because of the new facility that was just built, the dining facility, but I got a lot of friends and whatnot, or I made a lot of friends in different sports, and that was really cool because I thought I was gonna be stuck like in a bubble with just the running team. So I really like that a lot. And as for the actual like university itself, I kind of like uh just like let me think about this one. I kind of like how there's a lot of people from Miami there. I thought I wasn't gonna like that because I felt like I wanted to experience new stuff, but um, I got that feeling that I don't think I would have liked a college if there wasn't at least friends from Miami there. So I always got people around at the UF uh, campus and whatnot walking around. I always see like Belen kids or Columbus kids and stuff, so that's pretty fun.
And what's one thing that you'd improve about the university with your time there?
Uh, One thing that improved about the university. Hmm. I can't say much right now. It's only my first year, so like I only took like easy prereq classes and um kind of really didn't have a lot of in-person classes. So there's not much I would change, but if I had to change one thing, oof. Um, I don't know. Rob Nation, you gotta help me out here. Like I don't know. I don't know what I
Anything
should
about
do, but
like the dorms? Like, would you like the dorms to be more like personalized, more home atmosphere, something to do with getting more people out to the track meets, things too far, too
All
close.
right. So UF does a good job about caring for each sport. So there's a good amount of people at track meets. Like they're pretty packed whenever they happen at UF, and obviously the football games are crazy. So I like that about UF. I like the camaraderie between the school and the sports and whatnot because they put a lot of support for us. Um, and then one thing I would change is probably the student dorms. You gotta renovate them. They're a little old, but I can't speak for myself on that because I live in Keys Complex. So that's kind of like where a lot of the student athletes live. So it's pretty nice. I'm not complaining about that. But whenever I would visit my friends' dorms and stuff, they're pretty shabby.
Oh yeah, I have to agree. I mean, even the nicer dorms on campus could use a little bit of, I guess, a little bit more
Yeah.
life. Even though they have been renovated, I feel like the renovations aren't enough to really take it from the 1900s to today.
Yeah.
But I mean, of course, I one thing that I think we can all bond on, I would say, is like having a really good good tunes means a good lift. What's your playlist looking like for lifts and long runs?
Oh, I got a weird music taste. At least for this generation, but a lot of Metallica. I'm really big into rock, so Metallica. I go crazy with Metallica. I like Linkin Park. Those are kind of like my two favorite bands. But I got also a diverse music taste, so I listen to a lot of rap, EDM and whatnot. So I'll listen to like Lil Uzi and Skrillex. I like really hype stuff. I like very intense music that is willing to make you just run through a wall. So I blast a lot of that type of stuff, but mostly Metallica.
I think that's very important when you're gonna be in a lift. Just don't. With me, I would say don't bring me down with the music. Bring me up with the music. Don't give me somebody talking about how their life was horrible. Unless if they're gonna talk about how their life became better. Don't just
No,
talk about a traumatic experience going down. I want to have something where I want to put up weight. Like, do you agree with me?
yeah, like I'm trying to get big, so like I can't be listening to some like soft stuff. Like I gotta go hard in the paint type beat. So whenever I hear Metallica, like I go crazy.
I think I'm gonna have to throw that in my playlist then because I want something nice, intense, great. I mean,
What music
for
you listen to on your lift?
I like to listen to a NBA YoungBoy. I like that. I throw in some Migos in there. It's very very trap heavy, and then I also throw in some R&B and soul, like to mix it up to slow it down. That's not my favorite
Okay.
though because it's a lot slower, but
I'll
like
tell you
just to
this.
mix it up.
For lift, like I like some rough stuff. So like hard rock, some pretty high BDM, whatnot, like more on the dubstep type of EDM genre. But for long runs, sometimes I'll go a little bit softer and I'll listen to a lot of like indie, R&B and whatnot. I got like a whole indie playlist where like I just listen to different bands and stuff. So like the Strokes is kind of like my go-to band, even though they're not really indie, or they kind of are, but they're more alternative. But I'll listen to the Strokes and yeah, just for long runs, definitely slower music. And I don't know why, but your body's already like stressing so much about running that long that you kind of don't need that intensity already because your mind's already naturally like that. So you kind of need like soothing music to calm you down.
Yeah, that's I agree with that. Honestly, sometimes like if I'm already too stressed and I'm like, man, I'm already dreading the lift, I'm gonna go with Lauren Hill, Aretha Franklin, to like
Yeah.
smooth things out more. Cause like if I'm just like, today's a day, I feel good, but like I'm not really feeling it, then like I will go to the go-to stuff, very
Yeah.
trap heavy album. What are some notable changes since you were very successful in high school, and now you're realizing some success at the college level? What are some notable differences between high school? Let's just start with high school cross country and college cross country. What are some differences?
Um, I redshirted my first year, so I didn't really race. But in terms of training, definitely a lot more running. Like it's pretty obvious. You get to college, you're gonna run a lot more. So in high school, you run the 5K in cross country, but in college, you run the 8K and 10K. So you got to run a lot more. That's probably the biggest change.
So there would be a little bit less speed work involved since you're going from a shorter distance, a 5K, to an 8K and a 10K.
Yeah, definitely a lot more base building work instead of speed work. But for track, I would say it's a lot more speed work because like you're kind of working off your base in cross country. So you already got that base under you. And compared to high school, like we would like so in terms of the frequency of workouts, you still do as many workouts as you do in track than you did in high school for college, but like the rep count for college is a lot faster. I mean, a lot more and a lot faster times. So like physically you feel like you're sprinting a lot more, not because like you're sprinting more days, but you're sprinting more within the days that you have workouts. So that's pretty much how track works. At least that's how I felt this first year.
So it feels like a change of pace and it's a much higher pace and intensity within a day. However, the schedule really stays the same, right? Like,
Yeah. Like you don't really have more workouts. You just have higher rep count within your workouts.
yeah, that's quite interesting. I mean, I think your schedule would differ a little bit more than the average college student. What time do you typically wake up for like the early morning run or the early morning workout?
I get up. I like a little bit of a pre run routine, whether it's an easy run or a workout. So our practices are usually at 6:45/7 in the morning. So I'll get up like at 6:15.
Okay. That differs quite a bit from my routine. I would say mine is about it would be about get up at about like roll out of bed at about 10:30. Go to well or 10 a.m. Go to my 11 a.m. class, my 10:50 class. Try my best in that class. Another class, schoolwork, couple hours of gym between 4 and 6. I'll start just pumping iron, and then make dinner, watch watch film for games, throw together some YouTube videos. We'll watch the games live, throw together YouTube videos, and call it a night at around like 1.
Where do you fit in your dates and stuff with the ladies?
Well, that's more like a weekend thing, you know. Like I tell them during the week that I kind of can't because like I gotta be throwing together the YouTube grind. So yeah, that's more of a weekend thing, you know. Like
Yeah.
game
Hey,
day,
I got a question for you.
different.
How do I get my drip up? Because I noticed you probably had some of the craziest drip transitions from high school to college. You be dressing, bro. You be fitting.
So what I would say is you gotta find something that you like yourself that is at least start with a base that's a little bit popular. You don't want to dress to just be out there. Like you want your own style, but you don't want to dress just to be out there. Don't be wearing the Balenciaga like Fila Defenders from Balenciaga like collaboration type. Like that's not real collaboration, but don't be wearing super loud stuff just to wear loud stuff. Find something that's somewhat popular but you like because there's so many things that are popular out there like that you could find something and that could be the base for it, you know, like if
Yeah.
like you like jerseys, then style with jerseys, you know what I mean, because jerseys are popular to wear. If you like the Stussy 8 ball fleece, the Stussy 8 ball fleece, you want that, then wear that and that could be your base. There is something popular, you find that, but find stuff you like. Don't just be basic and go for all the trends, and really think if you're spending your money, like think, do I want this? Go 6 months and be like, evaluate every month, be like, do I still want this? And if so, keep it in your shopping cart. If not, drop it off because you want to get stuff you wear and you want to really also dress for the seasons. I have very little winter stuff because there is no winter in Miami and Gainesville. In Gainesville, there is a winter, but that's about 30 days worth of winter that we have sporadically. So I just try and really dress for the seasons. I have a lot of t shirts, lots of graphic t shirts, I throw on jeans and sweatpants, so you got to get shorts as well, and that kind of thing. You want to just like find yourself, and like find yourself within a trend, but don't keep yourself just to trends. First, start off with something more popular, so that way you dress respectably, and then from there build out what you want to build out.
Bet I got that up here. I'll
Thank
apply
you.
that.
So you're talking about you gotta let's just say you have a big meet coming along. You got a big meet, you're running at about 6 p.m. It's lunchtime, you're hungry, it's about noon. What's your pre-meet meal?
Um, so I like to eat like 2 to 3 hours before a race. So if it's in the afternoon, I'll eat breakfast like normal. So anything like beyond like 5 to 6 hours isn't really gonna affect me. So I would say I eat pretty good, like naturally. So I'll just eat like a normal breakfast. I'd eat eggs, some fruits. And then if the race is at hypothetically at 6 p.m., like at 2 or 3, I'll probably like my favorite thing is a pub sub. I'll eat a pub sub. So just get a foot long pub sub, stick it in my mouth, and chilling from there.
So we're talking about the large sub. What's your go-to though with that? Because there's so many flavors. Is there an avoidance? Would you give advice to avoid, maybe spicy, or or are you throwing out spicy like 3 hours before the race? Like,
Yeah, like no spice. That's kind of like threat activities. Like if you're eating spicy food before a race, like you're crazy. But I like a lot of meat, like a lot of meat on my sub. But um I throw some meat on there. No cheese, like no dairy, just a lot
no
of
dairy.
meat, lettuce, and then like an assortment of vegetables. But my pub sub order, like before my race, is different than what it would be like normally. So like normally, I would still keep the meat, but I would add like some spice in there. I would add cheese. I would add vegetables and stuff, salt and pepper. But before a race, I'm trying to go a lot of calories for energy, but like light stuff. So the meat is the only heavy part, and then I'll just go like lettuce and then some light vegetables like olives, tomatoes. That's pretty much it. It's a really bland sandwich, but it gets the job done.
So are we talking about chicken tender here, cordon bleu,
Nah, turkey,
turkey? I
turkey,
mean,
turkey.
honestly, turkey sounds like that sounds plain Jane, but it sounds like it's good though. Like it's your go-to.
Yeah, turkey's always my go-to for a sub, whether it's before a race or normal. So it slaps.
Yeah, honestly, it seems very light compared to what I was thinking was chicken tender, but that's a little too fried. That's a little too,
Yeah,
heavy.
chicken tender, like if I do get that occasionally, like a pub sub, but like I can't get the full chicken tender. Like that destroys my stomach. So like I'll usually just get like the 6 inch.
You get 6 inch with that. What's your go-to if you got a cheat meal? Like, let's say you're in the off season, you don't got to work out that day. It's your rest day. What's your go-to cheat meal, man? Like, you're trying to treat yourself.
Ooh. Um, I mean, if there was a Raising Cane's in Miami, at least near me, because I live in north part of Miami, there's a Raising Cane's in Homestead. I'm not gonna drive like 40 minutes, but if there's a Raising Cane's at my disposal, that's my cheap meal. But like, let's say I'm in Miami, probably honestly, Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A's got to be up there. Just like I'd be messing with Chick-fil-A. I like Chick-fil-A a lot. I'll get a little shake, little cookies and cream shake.
With the nuggets, right? With you gotta go with the nuggets and fries, or are you not a nuggets and fries guy, or
Nah, I get chicken sandwich,
chicken
fried
sandwich?
chicken sandwich, yeah, with some fries, and then I'll throw little nuggets in there. I like some nuggets.
So you throw an 8 count with a yeah, that's a big meal, man. It's a big boy meal, but you gotta go big when you train hard.
Yeah, I usually go big at Chick-fil-A.
And what's your favorite local spot? Let's first start with Miami because we're in Miami right now. What's your favorite local Miami spot? Not a chain, local spot that you got near you.
Um, the sports girl count?
Sports World could count.
'Cause I don't be seeing a lot of sports girls past like Broward.
I think they don't
So,
exist past Broward. I think Broward's cut
yeah,
off.
so sports girls, my like that's probably my cheat meal, even though it's not really like a chain restaurant. So like I go to sports girl a lot. Like I like sports girl. I'd be repping sports girl. I got some sports girl shirts that I wear. Um, like if I can get an NIL deal, sports girl's like the dream. Honestly, I really like their chicken wings. Um, so sports girl's my go-to spot in terms of the local area, and then another one within Miami. Um, Damn, I don't know, man. I don't be putting myself out there that much. I gotta get better at knowing some local spots. You're the pizza review guy. Like, put me on. What's a local spot in Miami?
I like Sir Pizza. It's technically it's a little bit of a chain, but it's down to two restaurants. They used to be like they were gonna take over the world. They had like five, but then they shut down to like two. That was a tough day, you know. When I it was actually a sad day, man. I was like about 12 years old, man, and they shut down the one that was by me, and I was like, damn it, I have to go all the way like by Westminster Christian type, like all the
Yeah,
way down there. Like we're not even talking Palmetto Bay, we're talking Cutler Bay,
yeah, yeah,
and 826 ends. You just hit US 1, and it's like hitting the food wall. It's like going an all-you-can-eat buffet, second plate, you're done for. You just hit a wall of traffic. It takes you 5 minutes every mile to go sometimes. So you'll think you're getting there in like 20 minutes. It'll take you 40. It's tough.
bro.
But
And you
my
keep that.
go-to, I like, I also like Taco Rico. That's kind of local-ish place, I believe. A real place that I like Dos Croquetas. Place also pretty good. They got like nice light stuff too. They make the croquetas light, kind of. That's a recent review, and a
Oh,
few other
I got.
pizza places.
Yeah, you just reminded me when you said Taco Rico. Cancun Grill for me. Like, there's a Cancun Grill in Doral, and there's one in Miami Lakes. This is where I live, so you might not have heard of it because it's north of you. But Cancun Grill is like my go-to in Miami Lakes. Like everyone in Miami Lakes knows that place is banger. So I go there probably like every other Friday night and get some enchiladas, some chimichangas, some chips, tacos, like you name it. Like I'll get everything at Cancun Grill. So that's probably my go-to place for Miami.
That's great. Honestly, yeah. Like you gotta always find your go-to spot, your niche right there. I feel like you found that both in Gainesville and in Miami. Speaking of Gainesville spots, what's your go-to local spot in Gainesville or spots if you have any?
So two places, Ballyhoo Grill, which is a grill down. I don't even know what road it is, but if you go to like uh what if you go near Miapa, like if you keep going down that street, there's Ballyhoo Grill, which is kind of like a sports grill, but in Gainesville. I recommend it. They got some really good fish there. Um, Eating fish in Gainesville is kind of sus, I'm not gonna lie, but it's still really good. And then I get acai bowls next to Chick-fil-A inside that hotel, but it's hiding in there because like you got to drive like in that parking lot that's like surrounded by the building. You know what I'm talking about?
On campus, the acai bowls, or on campus or off
No,
campus?
no. Off camp, like the across the street. You know where Chick-fil-A is? Like off
Uh,
campus.
the one on the standard or
Yeah, the standard.
oh,
There's an
okay.
acai bowl place like right behind that, but no one knows, or at least I didn't know because it's like surrounded by buildings. It's kind of weird, but I
So
go
in the
there a lot.
standard, we're talking about the acai place in the standard. It's in the standard as well.
It's across, like you know where Hui Magoo's is.
Oh yeah, like around there, yeah.
Yeah, like that building right next to Hui Magoo's. Like there's an acai bowl place like within that building. It's really weird.
So we're gonna have to like zoom in on Google Maps type.
Yeah,
I think that's banger though. Honestly, my spots here, I'm gonna go with the spot. That's really good. If you get their
yeah.
platter, that's a ton of food. I finish that myself sometimes, but like you gotta get big. I mean, honestly, if you're repping gym, you're an athlete. and it's like an off day, your coach tells you you got the off day, bro. You don't gotta run later that day, dude. Throw down the platter. It's a bit of money, but like it's a ton of food, very good quality, and you got a salad, so you make yourself feel healthy included in that. So, and then I gotta go with another type place, kind of in the same region of the world in terms of food. I gotta go with Bite of Power, formerly known as Knox Halal. That one always slaps chicken over rice. Give me the chopped cheese too. It's got like the New York favorites. They got the chopped cheese. They got the Philly cheesesteak too. But really, the chopped cheese is what you go for. That's my type of place.
Uh, I went to that place from one of my friends. That was fire. I really liked that place a lot. I think I got like a cheeseburger there or something. But Bite of Power. Um, and then the spot I haven't gone to yet. Like I was a hater at first because like it just looks so bland. Like when I first saw the spot, like it just looks like the most generic possible like food place you can have. Like it looked like type of food places you see like in a kid's book where they just use it as like an example, like to show what the word restaurant means. Um, but I gotta try it. I've heard only good things about the spot, so
Yeah, honestly, I would say get the Mediterranean type of food. Like the other stuff is just like it's good. It's like it is like that type of thing where it's in a kids book restaurant, but you gotta get like the heroes. You gotta get the heroes. You gotta get the platter honestly, so you can make it yourself if you're really hungry. Get the platter. A lot of food, a bit of money, but not really a bit. It's like under 20, but
yeah,
tons of food. We're talking about like two type meals. Like if your girl's not trying to eat a lot and you're not trying to spend a lot of money, and she's like, "Oh, I'll pick off this." No, 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 no. Don't get yourself a regular size meal. Get yourself the platter. Get yourself the platter. If she says she's not hungry, get yourself the platter, and then all of a sudden if she can pick off of that, but you're good. You know what I mean? Like
I
you'll
feel
have
that.
enough sustenance there. The
Yeah,
sauce is what makes it because they make the sauce. I'm pretty sure it's in house because it's very it's signature. It's their like signature thing is like the sauce.
just the spot, bro. It's just the spot sauce.
It's the spot. You get the fries, you get huge platter of meat, you get the pita, so you can assemble it yourself, and you get the salad. Like we're talking about like a box full with the salad on top. They don't throw the salad in there, thank God. Keeps it nice and like the thermal. You want the temperature. You want that cold salad. Kind of gets hot warm from above, but they throw in there. They make the salad. They make me want to eat salad, which is very difficult for a bodybuilder to do. To want to
Yeah,
eat carbs that don't have protein attached to them. So I'm gonna say that place I commend it for that.
I feel that. You're getting me hungry just talking about it, bro.
Might have to go to Cancun Grill.
Anytime, bro. Just hit me up. We'll go to Cancun Grill in Miami Lakes.
So what's the off season like? Because this is the off season for you. What's it like being a college athlete in the off season?
Uh, Cross country is one of those hard sports where you technically do one sport, which is running, but you're part of like you're you're technically part of three NCAA sports, which is cross country, indoor track and field, and outdoor track and field. They're not different sports. Like, oh, so track and field and cross are obviously different, but for a distance runner, like you're running. Um, the hard part though is you really never have an off season because once you come out of outdoor track and field, like where I'm at right now, you got to start training for cross country right away. Then once you come out of cross country, you got indoor racing. So once you start indoor racing, at the end of that, you got to get ready for outdoor. Probably the time we get breaks is this time right now, like May, where like every runner kind of gets, unless you make the championship season, um, you kind of get like a few weeks off. For some people, that looks like completely off, like just no running in general. For others, it looks like a run every other day. But that's it. You only get like a few weeks and you get right back at it. So you're kind of running year round.
How's one way that you avoid overuse injuries with the high mileage that you guys are doing?
I'm probably not the best person to ask that because I've been injured so many times. But from what I've learned, out of my injuries, probably just working on consistency. So like my big issue was when I would feel pain, I would still run through it just because like for self-conscious reasons, like I didn't want to be like someone that would stop because of like a little pain or whatever. But that's kind of like not how running works. Like you got to be really honest with your body. And like if you feel like little tweaks and pains, like you got to be honest with your coach and let him know and take a couple of days off because taking a couple of days off will be worth it in the long run to not take months off from an injury. So my big issue was like I would usually just continue to run through pain, and that would cause injuries every now and then. But right now, like I'm working on just staying consistent and like listening to my body and like so to answer your question, I think the key is listening to your body. So when you feel really tired or beat up, um, take some days off. But um, if you're putting everything you can into the sport by sleeping 8 to 9 hours a night, eating enough, and getting some proper recovery techniques in, and you still feel some pain, then you can't really ask for much. You just got to listen to your body. But if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing and you feel pain, then that's kind of like on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand that. So like you gotta really like fuel your body correctly and rest it correctly in order to like get the maximum amount of results.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes because like you run so much mileage like in college cross country that like you really need to be on top of your stuff. You want to stay healthy for the whole season because you can probably stay healthy for months on end, but um like injury isn't the only form of not staying healthy. Like there's also something called burning out and running. And it's kind of like there's no physical damage to your body in terms of like muscles, tendons, or bones, but like your aerobic system is burnt out and you can't run as fast because you get out of breath easily. And that is like another form of an injury type of. They don't call it an injury, but it's like a burnout. And that's like avoided by sleeping correctly and just listening to your body and going easy on easy days. So I would say like the most basic answer I can give you is listening to your body.
So essentially you don't wanna peak. You wanna peak on championship race week. That's when you
Yeah,
wanna
exactly.
peak.
So you don't want to go all out every single day. Like you want to take your easy days that are easy, like take them seriously, take them easy. The days you're supposed to go hard, but not go all out. And make sure that you peak at the right time and make sure you're getting that proper recovery in.
So like a VO2 max workout that is reserved. You guys do that in very reserved amounts at the University of Florida.
Yeah. Yes,
That
sir.
that would be like once or twice a week type of
I'd say like once a week, mixed with
because
other stuff.
yeah, because there's a good mix that you have, right? A variety between fast, slow, and overall between the difficulty and the intensity that you guys do.
Yeah, 100%. While still keeping the same theme of like high mileage. So like we may have like strides on an easy day to get that leg speed going. Other days we got like purely mileage days, which is like a long run. But yeah, a lot of diversity in terms of the training for cross country.
My goal, I would say, with YouTube is to be able to network out using my jobs that I have and be able to just really like be able to like build connections that I have, and it's not just for that sake because it's connections that you have because you're working with someone, but those connections can help build. And really, I think jobs like you really need a job if you're like in my position. Like it can't just be meeting people on social media because meeting people on social media it's really great, it's awesome, but if you build really people that you meet IRL, like that's what I do at the gym, but it really builds a new network with customers, not as much with customers, but more with your coworkers. Then I'm gonna have
Yeah,
coworkers in two locations, and I want to build my YouTube channel to them because they're gonna see, you know, me vlogging in the break room. Possibly, they're gonna be like, "Hey, great day at work. I love it here." They're gonna be really the people to connect with, and they're gonna be like, "Hey, yo, look at my boy's video. He's a coworker. He does great." Like that's really what's gonna get me hopefully to the next level. And I don't think I'm ever gonna do it for like a living, but I want to do it for fun, at least the foreseeable future. Get monetized, make low four figures, hopefully like a year. I stay really consistent. I make a good supplement to my income, like 4,000. And like, look, I'm not gonna care what the expenses are going into it, even though the expenses shouldn't be that much. It's still just gonna be something for fun, you know. And as long as I'm not pouring money in or making that my only thing, then it's fine. That it's only gonna be making four figures, you know. Like
Yeah,
that's
Chainsaw Man. There's only one
Chainsaw
season,
Man.
but I watched like a lot of clips and whatnot after seeing the season. I like Demon Slayer, Mob Psycho. I like a lot of stuff, bro.
So like, what's your response though? Like when people say, like that anime has a negative effect on your track performance.
Never, I've never heard that before. Like, no one's ever told me like, "Oh, yo, chill, bro. Like, you're gonna run slower because you watch anime." Um, so my response would probably be like just laughing and being like, "Shut up." Just does not make any sense.
I mean, it's mostly directed at like at speed guys though. Like, do,
I
so you're
mean,
saying there's no correlation. Like, if you're a speed guy, you're not gonna be a tenth of a second like slower if you watch anime.
there's no backing for that. Like, what would uh I mean, maybe, dude. You never know.
I might need to conduct a study. Like I'm gonna try and get a grant from UF to research the effects of anime on distance, mid distance, and short distance runners. I'm gonna subject them to 2 hours a day of anime, and see how it goes. Like
Yeah.
I gotta see, man. The UF track team, we're gonna see, man. We might go from like national championship to like not making it out of conference. I'm not sure. Like
Yeah, you try that out. I'm sure that'd be a really good study.
I think that'd be great.
Either Charles Oliveira in the UFC or Israel Adesanya. Like, I love both those fighters a lot. Um, I resonate with them in terms of like their personalities and like their interests and also like their work ethic. And so they're good. They're good inspirations to have to like chase, I guess, what seems impossible.
And what would seem to be impossible for you?
Like so that's why I say seem. It's like by that I mean like if you tell others like this is my goal, they'll kind of just be like, oh, that's awesome. That's an awesome goal to have, but like they won't really take you seriously. And that's kind of like what Adesanya and Oliveira said it was for them when they said that they wanted to win the belt, whether they were younger or like my age, and they won the belt. So I guess like the equivalent for me in track and field is just like whatever championship we're aiming for, which is SECs or NCAA.
And who's your favorite track and field athlete?
Um, Let me think about that one. Probably this miler named Tikem El Garouj, which is the world record holder in the mile. Um, that he's done running. He's retired. He's kind of like early 2000s runner, but I think he's like probably my favorite shock runner. But like today in today's track and field world, Jakob Ingebrigtsen, who's like the best 1500-meter runner in the world right now, and arguably the best 5K runner in the world. He's from Norway. I just like him because of like how confident he is and how consistent he is. Like he's a good role model to have on being consistently dominant in the sport and not just whenever you have a good day. What I see for myself, I don't really like. I visualize what I want to see for myself. So like I just want to see like me being able to reach my potential running and then also completing my degree and getting a job. Um, but I kind of don't look at life that way. Like I kind of just stay in the moment, take it day by day. I try to visualize what I want to see myself as tomorrow instead of years from now, and that's pretty much just being better than who I was yesterday. Um, for running, and then for just life in general, bro, I just want to be somebody that has fun, but at the same time can get it down and work really hard when they have to. So That's just the way I am, bro. Just take it, be in the moment, take it day by day. I'm not really tripping about what's like 3 years from now. I'm kind of just staying grasp with what goals that I have and not not forgetting that when I wake up in the morning and when I go to bed at night so that I can go at it the next day.
So you want to stay within yourself and you want to be better the next day and really focus on just what's tomorrow. Focus on today and tomorrow only versus like focusing what's long
Yeah, just
time.
because like things can change so fast. So like if I have the goal to be like something in running, which don't get me wrong, I do, but it's not what I visualize myself being because I don't know if that's what's gonna happen. Like who knows? Maybe something can happen within the next year and like I can't run anymore. Like I mean that's a little extreme, but like you know what I'm trying to say? So like when you take it day by day, you kind of appreciate what you have in the moment and you work with what you got and you kind of work to be the best version of yourself, not something that you visualize yourself being one day.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for this interview. You've been really thoughtful and inspirational.
Appreciate you, Rob Nation. I like your work a lot. So keep putting up some good content.
Thank you so much.